to Korea. We in athletics. I'm back in the air, a few days off. Went down to UT, University of Texas Longhorns. Yep, hook up, whatever that is. That's the sign language of the university alumni. So the best of the best graduates, 13,000 students graduated. I was in the middle of the earthquake of the graduates, including my nieces. Very happy for them and their mother. We had a good time back in Northwest, the cool weather. It wasn't that bad down there, was it? Warm as usual. Kind of those early seasons of a little bit of a cool, a mixed bag. It's fantastic town of Houston. Last time I was there was 1995 with UL, University of Louisiana in Lafayette. Man, memory lane, I was there, saw the track. So what could have and what was? It's me. Let's go to Korea straight up and look at the updates. What has been happening? Well, you've been reading, but let me give you my updates. Well, let's start with being in Miami, in Florida. Michael Johnson, how is that how is he evolving with his GST, the grand what? Series track? How is that going? Let me give you my take. Okay, I won't give you the results. I know a few wins were here and there. I think my take on this series of grand series of Michael Johnson, my take is that the payday is always good. If you are gonna offer prizes of that level at these times of their careers, most of them will go for it. $100,000 is no change. So that is an incentive, very attractive, very lucrative in the world of athletics. I suspect that is the attraction. The staging of it is still in its early stages, so I'll give them a break. Maybe they evolve into something bigger. Because what really, the downside of how they stage it is that it's too much of an exhibition instead of a competitive athletic series. It's too small of a collection of athletes that have signed up for this series, so it's very narrow. There's no edge to it. There's no build up to a climax, like a crescendo. Okay, we've been having this, let's go for the big one. There's no build up. To see the same faces in each series, from Jamaica, now Miami, I think we are going to Philadelphia next. Nothing really tells me it's all about competition. It's about incentives, how to pay them. Maybe, hopefully, they are getting some traction on some platforms that can show this series and get new fans to be interested in these athletes. Grant Fishers of this world, Emmanuel Wanyonyi of this world, Lavran McClagan and of this world, Gabby of this world. It's still North American to me. It has that appeal. It's not as global as it should be. It was good to see a few winners from Ethiopia. What's her name? And I saw a Kenyan Agnes Ngetich doing some good show on the event 5,000. It was good to see that break, but it has a lot of it's too American, If you look at the sprinting athletes, they are all, let's face it, they are all based in America. So maybe that's the appeal, that's the market they are trying to penetrate. So when it comes to the athletes, yeah, it's still too small. It doesn't cross the pond yet to the other side of the continent. Maybe Michael Johnson is trying to sell this series and grand thing to the North American audience. He might succeed, but what I'm not seeing, which is the downside of the success, is the stadiums are still very empty. And when you have empty stadiums, the message to even to the audience at home is that it's not that appealing. It's not very attractive. It doesn't have the flavor. It doesn't have the spice, the edge. Um, could it be something that might evolve into something big? Time will tell. Money will tell. And I think the biggest challenge Michael Johnson is facing is how can he reboot and build on what he has. Not reboot necessarily, to build on what he has. So far, he doesn't have much of a foundation other than money that was pumped into this project. Hopefully, the next season of 2026 will be better. As for me, an avid athlete enthusiast, I'm watching from a distance. It hasn't pulled me in yet. I know the athletes who've been doing this. You know, you got Marco Rob. I think the other day Nuguse did very well in 800 meters. 144 was good. But that's my take. It's just lacking a few things. It's lacking the spectators. It's lacking that presence, that who's gonna cheer these athletes on. If all you have is the home stretch and the locals just showing up, I don't know whether they are being told just to come. Is it free to go into one watch it? Is it free to be a spectator on the stadium? Time will tell. Michael Johnson, you got your work cut out. I'm still hoping and hoping that he succeeds. But that's my take on the GST series. We moved to Philadelphia, and I think we finished in New York. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I haven't been watching it as, you know me. I'm a global citizen. I don't like a niche. I don't like being put in a corner. America has enough sports. Now we have NBA playoffs, we have baseball, we have NFL. This is a sporting country, and track and field has struggled. Other than Eugene, LA has been good. We have the Penn relays. I just came from Texas relays, which is a big deal in Texas. I did that 4 times when I was in college. I think as a whole, track and field athletics struggles in America. Other than the Olympics, which they are hosting in 2028, I think track and field struggles over here, and unless you go to these makers of Eugene and others, the place I've just mentioned. That's why they host track and field and championship here in America, here in Oregon. They are big. They are invested in it. Nike is right here, and Nike has done a phenomenal job in educating the population around here on what track and field is all about. Big names from Kipchoge-thon, Eliud. Yeah, Kipchoge-thon. I said it. It's not marathon anymore, my friend. If you say marathon and if you say Kipchoge, why don't we just call it Kipchoge-thon? So that's me on my take on GST. We are looking forward to Doha, Doha in Qatar. I was there in '98. That country, let's face it, World Cup. They have the Diamond League series. It's a Middle Eastern country. I think when I was there, I think athletes start to race around 9-ish, 10 o'clock at night, because it's very hot. It's very hot. And Qatar has done a good job in hosting this Diamond Series, and they have the World Cup. Saudi Arabia is looking to invest in next World Cup. Yeah, I'm following that. I'm keen to see how that Diamond League goes. I mean, it's a tradition, and tradition always wins. Michael Johnson, that's your competition right there. Diamond League. They might not pay them good, but it's very global. It has a global appeal. It brings a lot of athletes from around the world. Very inclusive. You don't have to sign up for anything. They invite you. You run. You get appearance money, and they treat you quite nice. I was there for a week. I got fat. They feed you well. Bragging, my bragging rights. 1998. That's a long time ago, before you were born. Anyway, what else? I'll finish with sad news. I think to see Kenya again on the news because of doping always saddens me. But I have to say that I don't think the endemics of doping, and to hear that there's an Indian agent who was arrested in Iten for dealing and distributing drugs for athletes in Kenya tells you all you need to know the cartels of drugs and doping in Kenya. That is sad. I hope we get to the bottom of it. But as a country, I've always said this: we've compromised our values. Our athletes will do anything to get that big money, and it's predominantly in marathon. Because marathon, my friend, pays well. It's a good payday. But again, drugs and doping in Kenya. Talking of doping, it's not only Kenya. I think there's an Indian athlete. I think Kenya is right now at the top. There's Bahrain, there's Bulgaria, but Kenya is still up there in the drugs war. It's a drug nation in doping and athletics. But there's another strange one. There's an athlete from Ethiopia, Mo Aman. It's a very interesting story that I don't want to, delve into it, but Ethiopia is having the same flu, the same drug disease and doping, and some athletes. He was a world champion in 2023, 2013 was it? I think it was. He was a world champion. What was this? Mo Aman was a champion, world champion in 2021, and apparently he's been dodging the water, the drug people who come around testing them, and he disappeared. And we are finding out about his story and his case, and it's a very fascinating read. I was reading about it. How he was trying to elude and evade the drug testers or people, officials who had come to sample his blood or his whatever to find out whether he was clean. There you have it. Michael Johnson, doping and athletics. How do I handle my series of Tuko Riadha? That's the way it goes, my friend. The world of athletics. The world of Tuko Riadha with your friend JKKC. This was your episode 129. Hey, subscribe, my friend. You can always view it and like it. And as I say, I'm back, and we're going to keep talking about athletics, sharing some of what you might be interested in, from Miami all the way to Doha, and then we're going to go to Rabat in Morocco, Marrakesh, those lands of warm weather in athletics. See you tomorrow. See you next week. See you today. May love prevail. Keep expanding your love horizons, my friend. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.